Yo, what's up guys, hope you guys are doing good. So today we are gonna see, what if Naruto mastered the Kenjutsu, Naruto x Yugao, part 1. So before we start, go check out the author of this fanfic, ShadowFoxEndever, link is in the description, and also subscribe to our channel, and like this video. So let's get into the video. The Sandaime was sitting at his desk doing some of his paperwork that he neglected due to the incident with Naruto. The tiger mask appeared in front of his desk. "What do you have for me, Tiger?" Sandaime commanded, pushing his paperwork aside for later. "Akio-Sama, we have interrogated the 2 civilians that were taken down by Hade," the tiger mask responded. "What did you find out?" Sandaime asked Tiger. "We found out the names of the civilians who were responsible for attacking Naruto and are now being apprehended, Sir," Tiger replied. "What should we do with them?" Hokage-sama, Tiger asked. "Execute the ones who attacked Naruto and the ones who stayed back, torture them for 24 hours to make an example of them," Sandaime commanded. The tiger mask nodded slightly while turning and vanishing out of sight to get the order out. Once Tiger was gone, he pulled his paperwork back in front of him and got to work. "Naruto-kun, if what Hade-san said was true about you wanting to be a ninja, then I will enroll you in the academy in 2 weeks if you win," Sandaime thought while pulling out an academy enrollment form and signing it. Sandaime puts the form in one of his drawers, locking it for when Naruto wakes up, then gets up and heads to bed for a long day tomorrow. Next morning, hospital. Naruto slowly starts to open his eyes. "Where am I? All I remember was Hade carrying me," Naruto thought, confused. Sitting up, Naruto started to look around the room he was in to find out where he was. "I'm in the hospital. When was I brought here?" Naruto softly said to himself. "It must have been Hade who dropped me off here," Naruto thought happily, because he might have a new friend now. Naruto slowly tries to get off the bed, but at the moment Naruto finally got off the bed, a nurse walks in. Seeing him up, the nurse walks forward quickly and picks Naruto up and lays him back on the bed in a hurry. "I'm fine," Naruto says to the nurse unhappily, because the nurse wouldn't let him up out of bed. "No, you're not fine. I can tell just by looking at you that you're still in pain," the nurse says sternly. "So no getting up," the nurse told him, walking out of the room to tell that Naruto was awake. After the door shut, Naruto started to look around the room again, grumbling that he was fine. Out of the corner of his eye, he sees Hade's sword next to his bed, realizing he did not see that there right away. "I must have forgot his sword here," Naruto thought, picking the sword up and pulling it out of the sheath, marveling at how the sword looked from the sunlight reflecting off the blade, making different colors appear on the blade. "Wow, this is amazing. The sword must have cost quite a lot," Naruto whispered out loud. "It sure did, Naruto-kun, but that blade is no yours," Sandaime replied, stepping closer to Naruto's bed. Naruto's eyes widen and almost ends up falling off the bed onto the floor, but Sandaime places Naruto back up into a sitting position on the bed. "When did you get here, Jiji? I didn't even see you come in," Naruto asks. "I came in when you first pulled your sword out of the sheath. You didn't see me because you are dazed by that blade," Sandaime replies, softly chuckling. Naruto blushes from embarrassment. "Sorry, Jiji, I'm just not used to seeing any type of sword or weapon like this," Naruto replied, scratching the back of his head, setting the sword in his lap. "But quite alright, Naruto-kun, it's your sword to use." "No, anyway," Sandaime says, looking at Naruto. "Really? But this is Hade's sword. Will he not miss the sword?" Naruto asks. "He won't miss it, Naruto. He is the one that gave it to you, saying how he wanted to help you in some way for when you become a ninja," Sandaime replied, looking at Naruto's face. Naruto picks up the blade from his lap to hold it. "If it's from Hade, I will not let him down. I will become the best ninja in all the nations using this sword, so I can protect and defend Konoha. No matter if they hate me, I will get them to accept me for who I am," Naruto says, making a vow with the sword in front of him. Sandaime smiles, pulling out the academy form from his pocket. "You make me proud, Naruto. I want to help you on your path," Sandaime says. Naruto turns his head and looks at Sandaime. "This is an academy form, Naruto. I signed it with my approval. I know you're only 4 years old, but would you like to join the academy in 2 weeks from today?" Sandaime asks. Naruto jumps up and hugs Sandaime, ignoring the jolt of pain he got. "Yes, I want to, thank you, Jiji," Naruto happily replies, sitting back down on the bed. "Well then, Naruto, I got to go end this form in. Would you like to come with me?" Sandaime asks. He got an answer when Naruto shot up and got dressed as quick as possible while sliding the sword onto his back once his clothes were on. "Let's go, Jiji," Naruto says, already walking out the door, while the Sandaime followed after him to lead him to the academy. Hade was looking around the classroom at all the genin who passed, waiting on Asuhi-sensei to name the teams. Jin walks up to Hade and sits down next to him, just arriving there now. "Wow, Jin, still late even after you become a genin," Hade says, lightly laughing. "Hey, I'm not that late. They didn't even call the teams yet, so I'm fine," Jin said, waving off his comment. Asuhi and Matsu walk in through the door and stood in the front looking at the class, seeing they were not going to get quiet, so they announced their presence. "Be quiet, Asuhi," and Matsu said loudly. They quieted down. "Now listen up, these will be the teams," and Sensei's Asuhi proclaimed loudly. "I hope I am on Jin's and Yao's team," Hei thought. "Okay, listen up, team 1 will be now team 6, I'll be Hei Cheko, Jin Minori, and Maiko Turian. Your sensei is Shy Item," Matsu sensei announced. "They will be here shortly, so wait till they arrive," Asuhi sensei announced while walking out of the room with Matsu sensei. The teams started to gather to get to know each other. Maiko gets up and walks over to Hei and Jin. "Hey guys, is it okay if I sit here with you?" Maiko asks, although a bit. Hei turns his head instantly to her. "Sure, Maiko, we are a team after all, so it would be best if we get to know each other better," Hei say. Maiko sits down next to them. "What type of ninja are you?" Jin asks curiously. "Well, my skills that I am really good at are Taijutsu and trap making," Maiko replied. "That's going to help our team nicely then. My best skills would revolve around my ninjutsu skills," Hei says to Maiko. "My best skills are my Taijutsu and so your Taijutsu and your trap making skills fit in nicely with this team," Jin said to Maiko. Maiko just looks at them and smiles. About 30 minutes later of discussing different topics, Hei, Maiko, and Jin realize they are the only ones left in the room. "Where is our sensei? He should have been here already," Jin shouted. "Don't worry, Jin, he will probably be here real soon," Hei says. After Hei finished his sentence, the door flew open and several kunai shot into the room. Jin dodged left out of the way. Hei drew his sword and brought it up and deflected all that came at him, but he realized most of them were headed for Maiko, so he jumped in front of Maiko and helped her to deflect some of the kunai into the wall. "Good job, you were able to dodge and deflect my kunai," a ninja said while walking in through the door. They all got in defensive stances. "Who are you?" Jin said, shouting at their attacker. "I'm Shy Item, your sensei, who else would I be?" She started looking at them. "Then why did you attack us?" Maiko asked. Just testing your reflexes," Shy said, smiling. They stare at him. Only one thing comes to all of their minds: is he crazy? "Now team 6, meet me at training ground 6 in 20 minutes, if you're not there on time, we will be training in reflexes the rest of the day," Shy said, smiling evilly while vanishing in a swirl of leaves going to training ground 6. Hei and the rest of team 6 eyes widen. They rush out of the open window in the room and rush down the street as fast as they could so that they could get to training ground 6 in under 20 minutes. Naruto and Sandaime just arrived at the academy and went in. "What room are we going to?" Naruto asks while they continue to walk the hallway of the academy. "We are headed to the teacher lounge, Naruto-kun, to give them your form," Sandaime replied. They find the room they were looking for. They open the door and enter the teacher lounge. "What are you doing here, Hokage-sama?" Asuhi asks. "I'm here with little Naruto here to get him enrolled in your class in the academy in 2 weeks," Sandaime replied, handing the academy form to Asuhi for him to look over. "You sure, Hokage-sama? This class I got are all kids in their 4th year here already, and it says here he is only 4-year-olds. Everyone in this class are 10. I mean, he's not even 6 yet, which is the required age to enter your 1st year. I'm sure, Asuhi, I'll get someone to teach him the basic before he comes to your class in 2 weeks. He probably will surprise even you when he comes to your class then, so don't worry, he will be a good addition to your class," Sandaime told Asuhi looks at the form one more time while sliding it into his folder. He turns to Naruto. "Be here in 2 weeks to meet your class, Naruto," Asuhi said, smiling at him. "Okay, sensei, I will," Naruto replied happily because he will be able to be a ninja sooner than he thought. "Well then, see you in 2 weeks, Naruto," Asuhi says as the Sandaime and Naruto turn around and exit the teacher lounge. "Did you see that sword? It was Hei's. Looks like Hei took a liking to him," Matsu says, appearing next to Asuhi. "It does not matter, he is his own person and it's our job to start pulling out that potential in him," Asuhi replies. They turn and get back to work. Naruto and Sandaime start walking back down the academy hallway they came up to leave. "Thanks, Gigi, I get to be a ninja sooner now," Naruto says. "That may be, Naruto, but that's only if you pass all your classes and work hard to achieve your goal," Sandaime says to Naruto as they continue walking down the hallway. "I know, Gigi, and I will do my best," Naruto states, running forward. "I know you will," Narita, Sandaime thought, watching Naruto. Naruto kept running down the hallway, not paying much attention to anything, so when a door opened in front of him out of nowhere, he crashes right into the person walking out. Now Naruto thought, falling onto his back. "Are you okay?" "I'm sorry," a girl with purple hair asks, standing above him with a hand out to help him up. "Yeah, I'm okay, thanks," Naruto says, taking the hand to get up. Once Naruto was standing, he looked right at her into her brown eyes and froze. "Wow, she's beautiful," Naruto thought, staring at her. Sandaime sees this and stays back to let the two talk for a bit. Are you sure you're okay? The girl asked with a concerned look on her face. Yeah, I'm fine, are you okay? I mean, I did run into you after all, Naruto says. I'm fine, I mean you running into me hurt a little, but that's okay, she replied. That's good, I thought I might have hurt you somewhat, but I'm glad you're okay, Naruto states. The girl just smiles at him for his concern. So what's your name? Naruto asks her. My name is Yugao Yuzuki, what's your name? Yugao says. Naruto Uzumaki, it's nice to meet you, Yugao. Naruto says. It's nice to meet you to Naruto, but I got to run now, see you, Yugao says, running down the hallway. Naruto just looks on as she runs down the hallway. When Yugao reached the exit, she looks back at Naruto. Maybe we will see each other around, Yugao says before running out the doors. I hope we do, Naruto thought. Sandaime walks to Naruto. So Naruto got a crush, Sandaime says, teasing Naruto. Naruto starts sputtering. No, I don't, Gigi, Naruto shouted with a blush on his face. Sandaime chuckles. Naruto sticks his tongue out at him. Okay, come on then, do you want to get something to eat? Sandaime asks Naruto while ruffling his hair. Ramen, Gigi, come on, Naruto says, dragging the out of the academy with him to the ramen stand. Team 6. They were rushing to training ground 6 as fast as they could. We are almost there, I can see the training ground from here, Hate said to his team while he jumps to the net tree. Yes, we are going to make it, we still have 6 minutes to make it, Jin shouted, picking up from branch to branch the close they got to the training grounds. Michael looks at them, then looks on while they finally land on training ground 6. They landed in the field where their sensei was waiting for them. How looks like we got here before 20 minutes, Jin said with a grin. So what are we going to do, Sensei? Hade asks. Nothing, you did what you had to do for today, Shin said. They look at him like he is crazy. Don't we have some sort of test? Maiko asks. Hade and Jin both nod and look at Shin to that question. Getting here in under 20 minutes is part of that test, so there's nothing else to do today. The other part of the test will be held here at 8 in the morning tomorrow, and it's a survival test, Shin explained to them, smiling evilly because he got something planned for them. Team 6 all shudder at Shin's smile. So we can just go home then? Hade asks, slowly unsure. Yep, but be prepared tomorrow, the test I have planned for you guys tomorrow won't be easy, Shin explains, laughing while leaving in a swirl of leaves. They turn to each other. I say we get here an hour early and prepare for our sensei's test, Hade proposed to his two teammates. Jin and Maiko both agree with Hade's plan, and all three starts to head home with the test on their minds. Naruto walked up to the ramen stand seeing AM and rushes in to greet them. Hey AM Ni-chan, Naruto shouts, sitting down a stool. Hey Naru-chan, what would you and Hokage-sama like? AM asked, seeing the sit next to Naruto. They started eating, discussing things. The Sandaime finished his food first and placed money on the counter for his and Naruto's food. Naruto wanting to stay longer and talk to AM, Sandaime bid them good day and went back to the tower to get some of his paperwork done. Naruto ordered more ramen. AM turns to him to continue their conversation after they walked out. So what have you been up to, Naruto? AM asked Naruto while he slurped up his ramen. The day was great, AM Ni-chan. I'm joining the Ninja Academy in 2 weeks because Gigi enrolled me today, Naruto says happily. Already, Naruto? I thought you had to be 6 to enroll in the academy, AM says. Nope, Gigi got me in and I'm going to make him and you guys proud. I'm going to be the best ninja anyone has ever seen, Naruto stated. AM smiles while being Naruto another bowl of ramen. Well, you gotta work hard then if you want to achieve your dream, Naruto-kun, AM says. I will, I'm going to starting training tomorrow, Naruto replied, finishing his last bowl of ramen, then standing up because it was getting dark. Well then, see you tomorrow after your training. I'll have a big bowl of ramen waiting for you in the afternoon, AM shouts, watching Naruto run off. Naruto waves, rushing off down the street. Naruto runs down the main street heading towards his apartment. While running down the street, a drunk guy steps out in front of him, making Naruto stop a couple of feet back. Those other guys failed, so I'm going to finish you off here, Demon Old Drunk said, coming forward to stab Naruto with a broken booze bottle he had. I am Naruto, I'm not a demon, you old drunk, Naruto shouted and pushed the guy back a bit. The old drunk went forward again to try and stab Naruto. Naruto, on a scared reflex, drew his sword and swung his sword in a vertical slash upwards right when the guy got in his face, slicing right through the drunk's right arm. A shocked Naruto takes a couple of steps back, feeling all the blood on him and seeing it on the ground. You demon, the old man yelled in pain, charging forward intent to kill him. Naruto sees this, so he stood there and waited for him to strike. Naruto sidestepped to the right away from the stab, and then Naruto steps back in front of the drunk and takes a deep breath, plunging his sword up through the drunk's stomach and out his back. After a couple seconds he pulls the sword out with a blank face, but then takes a deep breath again and looks at the guy now on the ground. I better tell Gigi what happened, Naruto said to himself. Naruto looks up and sees an appear next to the dead body, picking the body up and hoisting it on his shoulders. I'll deal with this and then tell the just head home Naruto and get some rest for your training tomorrow with me, stated the. You're training me tomorrow, Naruto asks excitedly, then the dog mask nods, then vanishes. Naruto heads towards his. Heading to his apartment, he opens the door getting undressed and takes a long shower. After the shower he cleans the blood off his sword. Thank you, if it weren't for your blade I might be in the hospital again, taunted Naruto thought, putting his sword against his dresser. Then Naruto headed towards his. He laid on the bed. I'll finally be starting my training tomorrow, Naruto thought, falling asleep. Next morning. Naruto jolts up, falling out of bed due to someone knocking on his apartment door. Naruto slowly picks himself off the floor, still slightly dazed, but noticing not much light was entering in through his window. He turns to his clock, realizing it was only 4 in the morning. Who the heck is it this early in the morning? Naruto thought, pissed, storming to the door to give the person a piece of his mind. Another knock resounded on the door. I'm coming, Naruto shouted, opening the door, almost breaking the door off the hinges. What do you want? Naruto asks angrily at a silver-haired guy who was standing outside his door. I did say be prepared for training today and get some rest last night, the guy with silver hair and only one eye showing replied. Naruto looks him over for a couple seconds, then realizing that this was the from the night before. You're that other that Jiji had watching over me, Naruto says. Yep, though the name's Kakashi, now get ready and get your sword, it's time for training, Kakashi told Naruto. Naruto then turns around and runs back into his apartment, slamming the door right in Kakashi's face. Well, I guess he's excited, Kakashi thought to himself, waiting for Naruto to come out. The door suddenly shot open once again with a fully dressed Naruto standing in front of him. I'm ready, Kakashi-sensei, Naruto said to Kakashi while shutting the door behind him. Meet me at training ground 7 in 30 minutes so we can begin. I have to pick some things up, Kakashi said, leaving in a swirl of leaves. Damn, sensei, you could have just dropped me off there, Naruto grumbles to himself in having to run to training ground 7. About 20 minutes later Naruto runs into training ground 7, expecting his sensei to already be at the training ground. Where is he? Naruto asks himself, taking his sword off his back and lays it on the ground while he himself it's Don leaning against a tree to relax. About 10 minutes later Naruto looks around, not seeing Kakashi yet, so deciding to get up and try his sword out on a wooden dummy a little bit before Kakashi got there so he could get a feel for the weapon. Naruto picks up his sword and gets up, heading towards a wooden training dummy. While unsheathing his sword, he puts the holder on his back. I feel like this weapon was made for me, Naruto thought, staring at the sword he got from Hade in his hands. Naruto then got into a random stance that he came up with in that moment, charging the training dummy. He started swinging different ways to see what was the best way to swing the sword he had. After 20 minutes, he dropped onto his back from exhausting himself, still having the sword in his hand tightly gripped. Kakashi appeared above him in a swirl of leaves and scrolls in his hands. Where were you, Kakashi-sensei? Naruto asked, standing slowly. I went to go get some training equipment and materials for our sessions these next 2 weeks before you start the academy after, Kakashi states to Naruto. Naruto nods. Would you still be training me while I am still in the academy as well, sensei? Naruto asks. Yes, I will be, but only when I'm not busy with missions. The Hokage needed someone to start training you, so I volunteered to help you out, Kakashi says, putting most of the scrolls he had and kept one of them out. Thank you, Kakashi-sensei, Naruto says enthusiastically. Kakashi looks at Naruto, throwing some arm and leg weights at Naruto after he pulled them out of the scroll he was holding. The arm weights weigh around 10 pounds each and the leg ones around 20 pounds each. You will wear them all day every day, but not when you're sleeping at night, Kakashi says, watching Naruto slip the weights on, barely standing once on. Now what, sensei? Naruto asks, feeling the strain on his body from the weights. We will up the weight every 2 days by 5 pounds. You will do the warm-up now with these weights on. Every day you'll do this to get your body awake and aware, Kakashi says to Naruto. Naruto eyes widen at this, knowing he could barely move right now with this excess weight on him. The warm-up will consist of 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, 50 punches, 50 kicks, and 50 laps around the training ground. Once warm-up is done for the day, the real training shall start, Kakashi states. Any questions? Kakashi says, stunned Naruto. Are you freaking insane? Naruto shouts, thinking he was crazy. Never thought about it. Oh well, begin, Kakashi says. Naruto got down and started to do his push-ups, grumbling about his crazy sensei. Kakashi turns and jumps into a tree and relaxes while reading his new Ichi book he just bought today. Around an hour later Naruto finishes his last lap around the training ground, finishing his warm-up for the day, extremely exhausted by it. Naruto slowly walks up to the tree where Kakashi was sitting in. I'm done, Kakashi-sensei, Naruto says, tiredly watching Kakashi close his book and jump down right in front of him. Kakashi looks and sees how tired Naruto is, realizing a 4-year-old just completed this type of warm-up in only an hour. He was very impressed. That was pretty quick, it only took you an hour to complete your warm-up, Kakashi says. It's because I am awesome, Naruto states, punching the air. Well, since you're done with your morning warm-up, you will now meditate, Kakashi says, knowing Naruto is about to shout. What? I thought I was going to become stronger, Naruto shouts. Kakashi looks at Naruto sternly. You have to find your chakra source first and push it out to unlock your chakra. They would have done this in the academy your first year there, but you're being put in a class already in its 4th year, so you need to do this first to get anything done, Kakashi states to a now grumbling Naruto. Alright, I'll do it, Kakashi-sensei, Naruto says, sitting down to start his meditation. Closing his eyes, he starts searching for his chakra pool, while Kakashi just leans against a tree reading his book to wait for Naruto to finish. 30 minutes later, Kakashi felt chakra burst and looks up from his book, lifting his hat off his left eye to see what was going on. He saw chakra flowing out of Naruto, trying to get used to Naruto's chakra coils. Once the chakra flare dissipated, Kakashi put his hate back down over his left eye while watching Naruto slowly open his eyes and stand up. I did it, Kakashi-sensei, Naruto says, jumping up for joy. Kakashi puts his book away and walks up to Naruto. What's next, Kakashi-sensei, Naruto asks once he calmed down. Kakashi thought about it for a moment, then grabbed a leaf off a tree and handed it to Naruto. Why did he give me a leaf, Naruto thought, staring at the leaf in confusion. You will be doing the first exercise of chakra control to get better control of your chakra. You have to get the leaf to stay attached to your forehead for at least 10 minutes before I will even think you're ready to move on to anything else, Kakashi says. Naruto tries putting the leaf to his forehead while putting chakra into the leaf so that it would stick, but no luck, it falls off 2 seconds later. This is pointless, ho, is this supposed to help me to become a great ninja, Naruto asks. Once you get this down, you will be able to do basic and be able to do harder chakra control exercises, making you lose less chakra on jutsu when you start learning, Kakashi replies. I get it, I'll keep trying, Naruto says, trying to stick the leaf to his forehead, only using chakra again. Kakashi sees this and leaves to go to the library to get some books on history and basic shinobi rules, also some mini chakra exercises. 20 minutes later, Naruto started to get the exercise down, so an hour later when Kakashi appeared in front of him. Naruto had the leaf stuck to his forehead, so Kakashi walks forward to Naruto. Looks like you completed the exercise, Naruto, Kakashi says, handing the new scroll he got with the library books in it to Naruto. Naruto, while standing up, takes the leaf off his head and accepts the scroll from Kakashi. What's this for, sensei, Naruto asks. That scroll there has books on history and on shinobi laws and mini chakra exercises to learn, so study up on them an hour a night until you enter the academy. It will catch you up with your classmates, Kakashi says. How do I get the books out, Naruto asks, opening the scroll. All you gotta do is put a little bit of chakra into one of the seals in the book, then a book will pop out. Also, to put it back in place, you set the book on the seal and pour a bit of chakra into the seal again, the book will disappear, Kakashi states, watching Naruto try taking the book out and putting it back in after Naruto slipped the scroll into his pocket. Now what, Kakashi-sensei, Naruto asks. We will practice Kenjutsu for the rest of the day now, Kakashi says, pulling out 2 wooden swords for a scroll, holding on to one and tosses one to Naruto, who caught it, eager to begin. Attack me however you like and I will help you. You will have your own style once we are done here with your training in 2 weeks, so attack me in different maneuvers so I can find a good style for you, Kakashi says. Naruto then got into a random stance he felt comfortable in, and then he takes 2 steps forward, then bursts out running at Kakashi. While Kakashi just stands there waiting for Naruto to reach him to begin his lesson. Naruto jumps forward with a vertical slash starting at Kakashi's midsection, but Kakashi takes a step back, bringing his sword down and swings it, taking out Naruto's legs out from under him. Kakashi jumps 10 feet back, getting back into his stance. Keep your legs and feet more firm and apart so that something like that'll not happen again, Kakashi says, watching Naruto get up and getting back into his stance while moving his legs and feet farther apart, charging again. I'm going to get you this time, Sensei, Naruto says, determined, closing in on Kakashi. Kakashi brings up his sword, swings it slightly to the side while dodging to the right, hitting Naruto right in the arm, then kicks Naruto in the gut and sends him skidding across the ground. Your arm, bring it closer to the front of you so that you can guard and attack whenever you need to switch, Kakashi says, seeing Naruto get back up and fix the problem he just addressed. Now come again, Kakashi says. Naruto shot forward again, but this time he chooses to come in lower to try to get past Kakashi's guard. It didn't work. Naruto gets hit in the face and then side, sending him skidding once again across the ground. Naruto gets up again. Team 6, Training Ground 6. Hey, Jin and Maiko arrive at Training Ground 6 at 7, just like they planned, so that they could prepare for the test at 8. They sat down in the grass field, but they didn't know that most of the forest was already covered in traps, and the field they were in had similar traps prepared. Shai was sitting in a tree looking at his team, knowing about their plans since yesterday, so he set this up to be their test of teamwork. So hey, what's the plan? Jin asks Hayate, who was thinking what to do. Why don't we set up some traps in the area, because most likely the test will be a battle between us against our sensei, so that it will give us an advantage over him, Maiko says, shocking Hayate and Jin, because she never talked that much before, and the plan was really good. That is a really good idea, Maiko, Hayate said, smiling at her. Where should the traps go though? Jin asks. How about Jin, you lay the traps in the forest with Maiko? Well, I will lay a couple traps here in the field, Hayate says, standing up, knowing they only had an hour to work on the traps before their sensei got there. Okay then, let's get to work, Jin said, running off into the forest with Maiko to set up traps. Hayate starts walking around the training field trying to find the perfect areas to lay traps for their sensei. Then he looked down, hearing a click coming from beneath his foot. Multiple little fires appearing around him, making little hissing sounds. Hayate's eyes widen. Exploding tags, Hayate thought, cowering with a big tree branch off to the side a second before it went off. Boom, the entire clearing went up in a blaze, shaking from the massive explosion. That was a laid trap, but who set it up? Hayate thought, walking back into the clearing, although a bit slowly, making sure there were no more traps. Maiko, Jin. They just entered the forest, jumping from branch to branch. Where should we set up the first trap? Jin asks Maiko, who was looking around. Right there, Maiko says, landing on the forest floor, with Jin following. Why here? Jin asks. This path leads to the forest entrance, it will be a good trap to lead him to, Maiko says, starting to set up a tripwire kunai launchers trap with the trees as a cover point to cover the launchers. Good idea, Jin states, helping by setting some launchers in random positions to the tripwire. They finished the trap, but then an explosion rocketed the forest, making the whole ground shake, throwing Maiko right onto her own trap, making her eyes widen, having no time to react. Jin launches forward and dives forward while taking both of them out of the way, landing a couple of feet away. What was that explosion? Jin asks. They heard laughing, then they both blacked out. Hayate got back to where he was in the clearing before and saw how bad the area looked. I definitely would have died if I was hit by that, Hayate thought. He heard laughing, so he turned around and he saw Shai Sensei laughing. Did you do this, Sensei? I could have died, Hayate shouted at him. You could have, but you didn't. Now the test truly begins, she said, smiling evilly. What do you mean, Sensei? Hayate asked. I mean what I said. The test is that you have to save your two teammates from the area that I have set up. If you are able to get them out of there, then you three will have to fight me to pass your genin test and start getting missions. She started appearing in front of Hayate, punching him in the gut, knocking him out. Shai placed a knocked out Hayate in a small clearing within the forest so he can start the test. Shai vanishes in a swirl of leaves after. Around an hour later, Hayate woke up, getting in a sitting position. Why did Sensei do that? Was it to test me in trying to find my teammates in the forest while lost myself? Hayate asked himself, standing up, while starts to run to the denser part of the woods. Jin, Maiko. They were both now awake, but they were trapped, tied to a tree using chakra wire, so they couldn't get free. What's going on? How did we get up here? Jin shouted. I think it was Sensei. I mean, we are not dead or captured by enemy ninja, so this must be his test, Maiko says. I guess we have to rely on Hayate to help us out and rescue us from up here, Jin says, sounding dejected. I hope Hayate can. I mean, look at this area, it's completely covered in razor wire, and most likely some of them are trip wires, as Maiko stated, trying to figure out why their sensei made the test so extreme. Hayate will save us, he would never leave his friends behind, so I say I give him a little help in finding us, Jin says, making a bird call only Hayate knew about. Maiko just nods at Jin. Hayate was jumping from branch to branch, but then he heard a loud bird call. He realized it's coming from Jin. He made this bird call in the academy, he's trying to tell him where they are at. I'm coming, Jin, Hayate thought, jumping up higher in the forest and farther and stopping on a branch a good 10 feet from a big tree that Jin and Maiko were tied to. What took you so long? Jin says. It's because Sensei knocked me out, Hayate stated. I was right, it is a part of Sensei's test, Maiko says. Be careful, Hayate, you can see that the area around us is covered in razor wire and traps, so proceed slowly, Jin says nervously. Hayate nods his head slightly, sliding his sword out of the sheath, diving forward in between an open area with nothing there, but the tripwire, his leg ripped out of the position while reaching the tree. I'll get you guys free, Hayate told them, flowing chakra to his blade, swinging it forward and cutting through the razor wire, releasing his team. Kunai started to come at them from all directions, so they got into a circle and started knocking the kunai off course. Once the kunai stopped, they jumped back into the forest to exited. So they made it out of the forest. I better go greet them, Shai said, appearing from behind a tree. They were almost to the exit. They could feel the breeze from the field hit them, so they picked up speed to get out, missing all the tripwires they pulled out. We are almost out, Jin says happily. I hope there are no more traps, Hate says. Maiko looks forward and just nods to the statement. When they saw the exit coming up, they started to hear hissing sounds coming from all over the whole forest around them. Mini flames started to appear, lighting up the forest. All their eyes widened as they shot forward faster than before. The tags started going off, with the ones farther in going off first. The explosions started getting closer to them. They pushed chakra to their legs and then to their feet, diving out of the forest a good distance away from the forest, right when the entrance of the forest exploded. The explosion slowed a lot, but the forest still looked extreme chaos. Thank God, we made it out, Jin said, huffing from what happened. That wasn't so bad, Maiko says sarcastically. Well then let me make it harder, she said, walking out of the forest with the flames licking his shirt, making him look evil. They turned to him scared, but getting in defensive stances nonetheless. So you saved them after all, Hade? I thought you might not because of it being too dangerous, Shai says to Hade. I don't care how hard it was to save them, I'm just glad they are my teammates, so I would never leave them behind, Hade states. Well, Maiko and Jin both nod to agree with him. You guys are a wonderful team, but I have no choice but to pass you, Shai says with an ire smile, but nonetheless Team 6 is official now. No way, we pass, Jin says, excited, turning to Hade and Maiko. I can't believe it, Hade says, perplexed. You guys deserve a good rest, it's getting late, so head home, Team 6, and be prepared for your first mission tomorrow, Shai says, disappearing in a swirl of leaves, and Team 6 turns, starting their truck home, happy that they were finally a team. Naruto. I still can't hit you, Kakashi-sensei, Naruto says tiredly while back on the ground again from another beatdown. It's been a long day, Naruto, but you only just begun your training, so I don't expect you to be able to even get close to touching me for a while, Kakashi says, taking his wooden sword, sealing it back up, letting Naruto keep his. Naruto slowly stands up, but clearly exhausted from the day. Are we done for the day, Naruto asks, feeling really tired from getting beaten up for most of the day. Yes, Naruto, you may head home now, Kakashi says, watching Naruto turn to walk away, but drops onto the grass, falling unconscious. Kakashi walks up to Naruto's body and lifts him up and starts to disappear in a swirl of leaves to take him home. You're going to be strong one day, Naruto, and you will get the respect you deserve from every one of the villagers, just like you want, Kakashi thought. Disappearing out of sight. It's only 2 in the morning, why can't I go back to sleep, Naruto asks himself, knowing he had to get up in 5 hours for his first day at the academy, so he rolled over onto his side trying to fall back to sleep, but failing to do so. Damn it, Kakashi-sensei, waking me up at 4 every day for the past 2 weeks, now I can't sleep in ladder, Naruto thought, grumbling, slowly pulling his covers off himself and sliding out of bed to get a shower. After he got a nice cool shower, trying to wake his body up so he could practice some before heading towards the academy. Naruto walked to his dresser, putting on a pair of black-style shinobi pants and a black muscle shirt while he flings his sword onto his back. Turning around, he to the kitchen to make himself something to eat before heading out. He opened up the fridge and got some milk out, shutting the door behind him, walking to the table and setting it down before going to a cabinet that he kept his instant ramen in, pulling one out, filling it up with water and heating it up, then taking it to the table to eat it. I wonder what it will be like to be the only 4-year-old in class, Naruto thought to himself, nervously, knowing that they may make fun of him for being so young or mad that he skipped 3 years of the academy. It doesn't matter, I will beat every one of them, Naruto shouted, getting pumped for his first day. After Naruto finished his breakfast, he headed out of the apartment, shutting the door behind him to head to training ground 7. Once Naruto left his apartment, he started sprinting down the road, seeing no one out because of it being 4 in the morning. Now he didn't mind though, it being quiet made it all the much better. I think I should get some new weapons first before I head to the training ground, Naruto thought, turning and heading down a different street to a weapon shop that was open this early. He approached the weapons store, seeing the lights on, so opening the door he entered and shutting the shop door behind him. How may I help you, Higurashi, the store owner asked Naruto once he entered through the door. I would like a new set of kunai and shuriken, also some chakra weights, so I can't up a weight as much as I like, Naruto said to Higurashi, who got up off his stool and went to the back to get the necessary equipment for him. While Higurashi was in the back, Naruto started to look at all the things on the walls. Naruto spots a book on a shelf that caught his eye, so he walks over to the shelf and realizes it's a book of. Wow, this looks amazing, I remember sensei explaining to me what does and how it works. I want to try it out, Naruto says to himself, flipping a couple of pages in the book. Higurashi walks back out, seeing Naruto looking through a book on that he put on the shelf just yesterday. What are you doing, Naruto? Higurashi asks, watching Naruto turn towards him with a giddy look on his face. Naruto walks up to the counter, placing the book on the counter once shut. "Could I get this book as well, Higurashi?" Naruto says, hoping he would allow it being that he was so young. "Sure you can, Naruto, that's only a beginner's guide anyway, so I don't mind. I'm glad you're interested in it though. There are not many users out there," Higurashi says, ringing the equipment and the book up. "That will be 10,000 Ryo," Higurashi states, waiting for Naruto to get the money out. Naruto gets the required money out, giving it to Higurashi. Naruto grabs his equipment and book, taking off his old weights, putting them in one of the scrolls Kakashi gave him, while slipping on the new ones and putting the kunai and shuriken in their respective holster. "Thanks, Higurashi-san," Naruto says. "No problem, Naruto, just remember, whenever you need something just come to me, I'll be happy to help you out," Higurashi says, watching Naruto bolt through his door and down the road. "Now time for some training. The academy starts in 3 hours, so I got plenty of time," Naruto thought to himself, just now entering training ground 7. Naruto walks into the clearing, starting his morning warm-up like he did every morning these past 2 weeks with Kakashi's torture he called training, but the training helped him in the end. He dropped and began his push-ups, doing 100 instead of 50 now, because Kakashi had upped the count only 1 week into his training. Once finished with his 100 push-ups, he moved on to his 100 sit-ups, then his 100 laps around the training ground. When he finished his last lap, he walked back to the center of the clearing, starting to stretch when a dog mask appeared in front of him and a swirl of leaves. "What are you doing here, Kakashi-sensei?" Naruto asks, shocked to see him here, since the 2 weeks were over. "For one, I'm here because this is usually where we have been training for the last 2 weeks, so I knew you could be here, because I have been waking you up at 4 the past 2 weeks, so your body is used to it by now, and wakes up on its own now at this time," Kakashi says, explaining it to Naruto. "I should beat you up for that, Kakashi-sensei. I couldn't get any extra sleep this morning. I'll probably be falling asleep in class today, so thanks for setting my body on this routine," Naruto says, grumbling about stupid senseis. "You'll be fine, you will be able to stay awake all day. I mean, you were doing it in our training sessions, so you can do it during the academy as well," Kakashi says. "I hope, but what are you doing here, sensei?" Naruto asks again. "I am here to wish you luck, even though you don't need it because you know most of the things the academy teaches, but also I am here to train you some more and before I leave on my mission, and before you head to the academy," Kakashi explains, unsealing a wooden sword, while Naruto does the same. They both get into stances, preparing for the spar. "Heh, Kakashi-sensei, good thing you have a mask, so I don't see your shocked face when I kick your ass," Naruto says, smirking, charging forward. "Well, maybe you're right, but most likely you will miss my grin when I knock you down again," Kakashi says, back charging forward to meet him halfway. Naruto came up, but ducked quickly from a swing from Kakashi, who followed it up, bringing his knee up to try and knee Naruto in the face, but Naruto brings up his left arm, guarding his face, but still sliding back quite a bit because of his tiny frame compared to Kakashi's. "Damn it," Naruto thought, jumping forward, swinging his sword. Kakashi brings his blade up and the two swords clashed. They both started swinging, trying to get the upper hand on the other, but their swords just kept clashing, so neither got any ground on the other. He has really improved quite a bit in these last 2 weeks, even though I'm only going about 5% on him, but he still is really good for a 4-year-old, Kakashi thought, blocking another swing from Naruto. Kakashi starts pushing Naruto farther and farther back, using about 10% of his strength now. Naruto jumps up and over a swing from Kakashi, coming down on him with an axe kick, but a second before it connected, Kakashi leans back and grabs Naruto's ankle with his left hand, swinging him around, throwing him into a tree about 20 feet away. "Okay, Naruto, that is enough for right now, I need to get going. I'm about 3 hours late by now," Kakashi says, sealing the wooden sword back up, watching Naruto stand up shakily after the collision with the tree, sealing his wooden sword away as well. "So you're using me as an excuse for being late now?" Naruto asks. "Yep, though I think you may need to use me as an excuse as well, since you only got about 2 minutes to make it to the academy before you're late," Jana, Kakashi says, vanishing in a swirl of leaves to go meet his team at the gates of Konoha. What, Naruto shouted out, looking at the sun for a moment, then realizing Kakashi was right, grabbing his sword and strapped it to his back while running to the academy. "I think I will use sensei as an excuse since he is the one that made me late," Naruto thought, running down the street to the academy. "Academy? Where are you, Naruto?" Suhi thought, standing in front of the classroom, which began around 10 minutes ago. "Alright class, pull out your textbook so we can go over the things that will be on the test next week," Suhi announced to the class. "Sensei, I thought we were supposed to get a student today," Yugao asked Suhi, waiting for an answer. Suhi contemplated whether or not to tell the class that Naruto is not here yet. "The new student is not here yet, so we will continue the day's lessons until he arrives, then in which case the day shall change slightly after that," Suhi sensei explained. Why would the schedule change due to a new student? Wouldn't it stay the same and the new student would start where we left off? As well, Yugao asks. Well, most of the class agreed to the statement. The reason the schedule will change is if the new student that is coming into this class has not caught up with you guys yet, Asuhi says to the confused class. Yugao and most of the class look at Asuhi-sensei beyond confused. What do you mean, Asuhi-sensei? A random student in the front row of the class asked, knowing most of them wanted an answer. A student who is entering our class today is only 4 years old, that's why I'm waiting for him to get here to find out if he caught up with you guys or not, Asuhi-sensei said, watching the class's eyes widen from being told a 4-year-old is being placed in their class. That's when some of the class erupted into angry shouts, and some just stayed quiet, wondering why they would let a 4-year-old even in the academy, especially into their class which is already in their 4th year. Why is a 4-year-old coming into our class, and even coming into the academy at all for that matter? Don't you have to be 6 to even become a first year? Yugao asks Asuhi, clearly confused on the matter. A lot of the class just nod with Yugao's question. Well, in most cases you have to wait till you're 6 to enter into the academy, but they enrolled him into this class knowing Naruto better than anyone else, so treat him nicely when he arrives. He might be more than you expect him to be, especially from a 4-year-old, Asuhi explained to Yugao and to the class, knowing how mean kids can be sometimes. Now who can tell me, in a situation where you're surrounded by 2 Iwa ninja, what type of weapon would be better, a kunai or a shuriken? Asuhi-sensei asked the class. A random student replied with a kunai because if the rock ninja put rock armor on it would go further in than a shuriken would. Good answer, that's correct, Asuhi-sensei replied, flipping a page in his book, moving on to the net lesson with the class. Naruto. I'm already 15 minutes late. I got to her, Naruto thought, running up to the academy grounds, then flinging the academy doors open, shooting down the hallway. What classroom do I go to? Naruto asks himself, not really sure where to go, so he goes to the teacher lounge, opening the door and heads in. A bunch of instructors in the room turn to see a 4-year-old walk into the teacher lounge, unsure. Why are you here, kid? This is no place for little kids, an instructor says, walking up to Naruto trying to usher him out of the room. He's with me, Matsu said from behind the other instructor. The instructor turns and looks at Matsu. Okay then, but you have to talk with him outside in the hall. He is not allowed in here, the instructor explained to Matsu. Matsu walked around him and led Naruto out of the room into the hall to speak with him. Why are you here, Naruto? Asuhi-sensei was probably expecting you around 15 minutes ago, Matsu asks Naruto. I don't know where the class is, no one told me the room number, so I am kind of lost here, Naruto says, sheepishly scratching the back of his head, hoping Matsu could help tell him the room number. Matsu looked at him, thinking that next time a new student were to come, he would be the one to meet the kid, not Asuhi. Alright then, Naruto, the room number is 27, you ran past it on your way here, Matsu says, laughing lightly at Naruto's face. Thanks, Naruto shouts, starting to run down the hallway to room 27. Wait, Naruto, I'm your other sensei, Matsu. I'll be teaching your class in the afternoon after Asuhi-sensei finishes up, so see you later, kid, Matsu shouts at Naruto down the hall. Naruto brings his arm up to show that he heard and kept going. He slowed down once he saw the room number coming up. He stops in front of the door and looks at the door, nervously unsure before he then, putting on a smile to look confident, and pushed open the door slowly for dramatic effect for the rest of the class. Asuhi-sensei turned toward the door, hearing it creak and start to open slowly, too slow for his taste, so Asuhi walked forward, grabbing the handle of the door and flung the door open, making Naruto, who was opening the door, to stumble into the classroom, not ready for the door to open like that. Naruto looks up when he finally righted himself and saw the whole class staring at him, some with angry looks and some looked like they didn't really care. Naruto, what took you so long to get here? You should have been here around 20 minutes ago, Asuhi-sensei asked, shutting the classroom door, walking to the front of the class. I got here 15 minutes late because I was sparring with Kakashi-sensei, but when I got here I didn't know where to go because you forgot to tell me a room number, so Matsu told me the room number, Naruto explained to Asuhi, while the class was too quiet. Asuhi smacks himself in the forehead for such a blunder on his part, but realized Naruto just said he sparred with Kakashi, making his eyes go wide. Wait, are you talking about Kakashi Haddock? Asuhi-sensei asks Naruto. Yep, I was sparring with him from 4 to 7 in the morning, and that's why I was late. He has been my sensei for the past 2 weeks, so that I could catch up to your class. He probably used me for an excuse too for being late to meet his team, as well, Naruto says. Haha, yeah right, like someone of that caliber would teach a 4-year-old brat like yourself, a random student from the front row of the class said. Naruto turned to him, sticking his tongue out at him. I know you're jealous, so don't say something you don't mean, you fag-looking idiot, Naruto replied, smiling. The kid jumped forward over his desk to try and strangle the little kid, but Asuhi-sensei grabbed the kid by the top of his shirt and lifted him off the ground. Now don't be attacking fellow classmates, unless in a spar, and even then during a spar, the spar will be a fair and nice fight, not trying to kill the other, Asuhi explains, putting the kid back in his seat, who grumbled for not getting the chance to strangle Naruto. While this is going on, Yugao in the back row was staring wide-eyed because realizing that this is that kid who ran into her before. When I said maybe we will see each other around that day, I didn't think something like this would be happening, Yugao thought to herself. Yugao looked at her fellow classmates, seeing that most of them were angry because Naruto would be in their class, but she got up out of her seat, seeing Naruto talking to Asuhi about if he caught up with the class yet, and Naruto replied yes, so Yugao walked up to them. Hey Naruto, how have you been? Yugao asks, walking up to him. Naruto turns and looks at her, smiling with a little blush on his. He's really cute, I didn't realize that before he ran into me, Yugao thought, gaining a light blush herself. Oh, hey Yugao, I have been good, how you have been, it's nice to see you in this class, to Naruto says, trying to hide his blush from her, while scratching the back of his head. I'm really good Naruto, I didn't know that you would be the one coming into the class, and I still can't believe you're younger than us by 6 years old, do you think you can handle it? Yugao asked Naruto, a concerned look on her face. I'll be fine Yugao, you don't know everything about me, I'll show you how strong I am, Naruto says, determined to prove it her the most, but also prove it to the class as well. Asuhi just stares at the two of them who were interacting with each other really well. Just ask me for help if you need it then, okay Naruto, Yugao says, smiling while walking back to her seat so that Asuhi can introduce Naruto to the class. I'll do that, thanks Yugao, Naruto says, smiling, while some of the boys in the class grew even angrier at the interaction between Naruto and Yugao, but Naruto didn't let it bother him, he just ignored them. Naruto, go ahead and introduce yourself to the class, then they will do the same for you once you are done with your introduction, Asuhi-sensei explained. Yes sensei, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, my likes are training and practicing, my hobbies are finding new ways to improvise my fighting and training, I don't really hate anything besides the people who can't look underneath the underneath, and my dream is to be the best ninja ever, Naruto says to the class, pumping his fist into the air. The class starts to introduce themselves one by one, once it got to Yugao she stood up. My name is Yugao Yuzuki, my likes include, and hanging out with friends, my hobbies are training and my family sword techniques, and friends, I dislike people who don't put much effort into being a ninja like fangirls, they don't deserve to be a ninja, my dream is to be the best master, Yugao says, sitting back down, while Naruto's eyes are wide from the part. She's nice and pretty and likes just like me, she's amazing, Naruto thought to himself. When Yugao was done, Naruto started to look at all the faces of the people in the room, most of them looked angry, but another person stands up with no malice against him, introducing himself like Yugao. My name is Neo Terumi, my likes are hanging with friends and coming to class, my hobbies are training and trying different weapons out, my dislikes are when people make fun of me or making fun of someone else, my dream is to be a hunter, Ninja Neo says, sitting down afterwards. So about 4 or 5 people total don't mind me in the room, well at least Yugao and Neo will be good people to get to know better, still though I am going to change their views on me before I graduate from the academy, Naruto thought, determined to show what he was made of. Naruto was broken out of his thoughts when Asuhi-sensei turned to him and asked him where he would like to sit. Naruto started to look around the room to find a good seat but stopped looking around when he heard a voice. Naruto, you can sit here if you want, Yugao says from the back row, pointing to the seat beside her. Thanks Yugao, Naruto says, happily walking to the back and taking the seat beside her. No problem Naruto, I finally found someone interesting to talk to, Yugao says to Naruto, in which he turns his head forward to the front, trying to hide a blush that appeared on his face. They turn and look at Asuhi, who just started the net lesson. Alright class, since Naruto does not need any time to catch up, we will start where we left off, Asuhi states, walking up to Naruto and handing him a textbook so he can follow along. They continued lessons throughout the morning. Team 6. Team 6 just exited the tower heading towards a civilian house which they were to paint a fence for some old guy for their 10th D ranked mission. They arrived at the house all grumbling on how did they have to do chores, they were ninja. Sensei, do we have to do this? Jin asked, picking up a brush grudgingly, not wanting to do it. Yes you do, and you can't stop till you are done, because even though these missions seem pointless, but they're not, they still help pay for things in the village, and I don't have to do it, so have SP have fun, she says, jumping into a big tree in the yard to get some sleep till they were done with the job. That's no fair, Sensei gets to sleep, where we end up doing all the work, Jin says, starting to paint the fence. Don't worry Jin, let's just get to work and finish this as fast as we can so we can be done for the day, Hade says, looking at Maiko for reassurance. Right Maiko, Hade asks. I guess so, but this still sucks, Maiko says, picking up a brush herself and starting to paint the fence. 3 hours later they finished, but Hade and Jin were covered in paint because they got pissed at each other for not being done yet. We are finally done, Hate says, sounding exhausted but ready to finish the mission. Yeah, but you two look more painted, the fence, and that's saying something, Maiko says, laughing. Laugh it up, Jin says, throwing half the bucket of paint into Maiko's face. Maiko got angry and started to kick Jin in the balls repeatedly for getting the paint in her hair. Hate just looks on, guarding himself just in case Maiko turns on him. Shai then jumps out of the tree, hearing Jin screaming in pain and walking up to Maiko while pulling her back away from Jin before he makes him unable to have kids. Are you guys finished? Shai asked them, in which Hate and Maiko nod while Jin lie on the ground in pain. Okay, then Hate and Maiko meet me in the Hokage Tower in 10 minutes, Shai says, picking up Jin and taking him to the hospital to get checked on. Once they entered the tower, they got their mission pay from the Ho, then turned to Shai asking him if he would like his team to do another mission. She just nodded and took a scroll, turning to his team. Okay guys, I got another mission for us, even without Jin it will get completed, me know it, Shai states, smiling. Is it a C rank this time? Hate says, hopeful. Nope, it's another D rank, one, Shai said, laughing, walking out of the building. Hate and Maiko just turned to each other. They both said, walking slowly out of the building. Naruto. When lunchtime came around, most of the kids stayed away from Naruto. Naruto sat down outside on a bench and began to eat his lunch. Yugao sees this and walks up and sits down next to him, placing her lunch net to her. Don't worry about them, Naruto, they're just jealous that you're only 4 and are in the same class as them, Yugao states, looking at Naruto. I know, Yugao, but I wish they would just get over it. I mean, why make enemies when you can make friends? Naruto says, taking a couple bits out of his sandwich. Yugao looks at him happily and finding someone just as smart as herself. Well, they both returned to eating their lunch together in silence the rest of lunchtime. Once they finished, they headed in along with the rest of the class. When they got seated, Matsu-sensei walked in through the door and stood in the front of the room. It's now time for a henge test before we head outside and do sparring for the rest of the time. No, line up and begin, Matsu-sensei says, leaning against his desk while watching the students come up and get in line. He spots Naruto at the end of the line and waves to him, with Naruto waving back. He turned back, and when everyone were ready, they began the test, one person after another. About half of students failed the test so far. Then Neo walked forward and got a perfect on his test. I'm going to get a perfect just like Neo because I know everything about the henge, Naruto thought, wanting to do this so bad. Good luck, Yugao, Naruto says to Yugao for encouragement, while Yugao walked forward making a perfect henge of Matsu-sensei, then walking back into line standing near Naruto. Naruto slowly walked forward after being called. Everyone turned towards him, staring at him, thinking that there was no way a 4-year-old was going to pass this test. This is where I start proving that I belong in this upper class, then a lower class, Naruto thought, performing the necessary hand signs for the henge. All the students looked on as the smoke cleared from the faded looking as the exact replica of the 4th. No way, a random student proclaimed, stuttering. They couldn't believe Naruto completed the henge. Then Naruto turned back to spelling the henge. Good job, Naruto, you pass, Matsu says, writing on his clipboard while telling the students to head outside with him for sparring practice for the rest of the class. Naruto and Yugao walked outside together, talking about random things, trying to pass the time. Once they all got out back on the academy training ground, Matsu turned to them, randomly picking opponents to face off to get good idea on everyone's taijutsu is and what they need to improve on. Naruto, you will be pairing with Kenshi, Matsu says, watching them get into their fighting stances. Matsu-sensei, can I use my sword in this battle or no? Naruto asks, looking at Matsu. Normally yes, Naruto, but I want to get a good record on all the students' taijutsu so I can see the problems with their taijutsu and help them fix it, Matsu explains, stepping back. Yugao gets closer to the fight. Beat him up, Naruto, he needs a good beating, he is too cocky, so show him that you're better, Yugao says. Naruto just nods and turns to face his opponent with a flat palm out facing Kenshi and a half fist pulled back, bending both his knees slightly, waiting for Kenshi to come. Naruto did not have to wait long. Kenshi charged forward at him, thinking it will be an easy win for him. All I need is one punch, shouts, turning most of the class to their match, thinking Kenshi would. Besides 3 people, they were Yugao, Neo, and Matsu, who thought Naruto would win the match. Jumping forward, aiming a punch at Naruto's face, Ho just ducked, making Kenshi's eyes widen. Naruto his half palm fist into Kenshi's stomach, making him lean forward, before Naruto followed it up by slamming his open palm into Kenshi's chin, sending him flying across the training ground, landing hard on the ground unconscious from being hit like he did. Naruto got a couple cheers, walking over to stand near Yugao. Naruto wins, Matsu says, marking it down on his clipboard, the time of the fight, and Ho. Naruto ended the fight, telling another teacher to take Kenshi to the school nurse. Naruto and Yugao sit in the grass to talk about things. You did good, Naruto, that fight gave you really good marks, Yugao says, congratulating Naruto on his win. Thanks, Yugao, beat the person you faced just as good, Naruto says. Don't worry, I will, Yugao says, smirking. Yugao's name was called then, so she got up, then waving to Naruto. As Yugao walked forward getting into a stance, she had to fight. Neo Ho also just got into a stance himself across from Yugao. After 3 minutes of fighting, Yugao was declared the winner by knockout, knocking out Neo with a punch to the solar plexus. When Yugao's match ended, the sounded in the academy indicating class just ended, so everyone started to leave and rush home or greet their parents out front. Good match, Yugao, Naruto says to her while they walk down the road away from the academy together. Thanks, Naruto, but I gotta go home now, so see you tomorrow, Yugao says, running off smiling at him. See you tomorrow, Naruto shouts to a now vanishing Yugao, heading home, him tired from the long day. Once he reached his apartment door, he opens the door and turns on the light, dropping off his sword in front of his dresser after closing his door to the apartment. I'm going to take a nice long hot shower, Naruto thought, heading to his kitchen to get a bite to eat first. When he walked through the doorway, a cut appeared on his cheek, then a black cloaked figure jumped down in front of him, making Naruto jump back, slamming his head off the edge of the doorway. What the hell, Naruto thought, scared, thinking someone is trying to kill him, but then the figure grabbed a hold of the side of the cloak. Naruto got more scared, thinking it to be a weapon, until it got pulled away, revealing it to be Kakashi, his sensei. How did you get in, and why are you here, Naruto shouts once his fear vanished, standing up. I'm here to tell you, get your things, it is time for training, and don't complain, Kakashi says, chuckling. Naruto got his sword, realizing he had no choice, since he knew Kakashi would drag him to training ground 7 if he had to. Okay, let's, Kakashi says, disappearing in a swirl of leaves for training ground 7, leaving a pissed off Naruto. Naruto's eyes widen. Don't leave me here, you stupid sensei, Naruto shouts, opening his apartment door, shutting it behind him, running out into the night. Time skip 2 years later from the start of the academy. Next week I graduate from the academy and finally become a full-fledged ninja, Naruto thought happily in the grass of training ground 7, enjoying the afternoon after getting out of the academy that day. He slowly got up, looking around at the damage he had done on the wooden dummies with his sword. I got to keep training, I cannot let up, I have got to prove myself when I graduate next week, Naruto thought, performing his sword stances that he came up with, but also with some help from Kakashi supervising what he came up with. Team 6. They entered through Konoha's gates, heading towards the tower to report that they had completed another C-rank mission. They took their time walking down the street to the tower because they have not been back in so long. I'm glad to be back once you leave for a mission, it's exciting to be coming back home once the mission is complete, you really start to miss this place, it's really peaceful, Hayate says to his team, continuing to walk with them to the tower. I know what you mean, we have never really been gone from Konoha for so long, it is our home, but we became ninja so that we could protect our home and everyone within its walls so that they can live in peace without fear, Maiko replied, continuing to walk beside Jin and Hayate while their sensei went ahead to the tower. They were still looking around, but then realizing that they should now hurry to the tower to report before she got pissed and started to use them for target practice once again. We got to hurry, Jin shouts, starting to run forward faster to the tower with Hayate and Maiko running faster as well to get to the tower sooner. Once they reached the tower, they ran up the stairs as fast as possible and ran to the Hokage's door and started to knock. And Sandame said from behind the door. Team C opened the door once they had permission and walked in, closing the door behind them. What took you guys so long? Were you missing the village that much? And maybe you were also missing my reflex training, and if that is the case, I think we should do that all day tomorrow, Shai says, smiling evilly to Team 6, of who were seating bullets because of what their sensei implied. So be prepared for the worst, just in case, Shai says, vanishing in a swirl of leaves, letting them think on what he said. After Team 6 watched their sensei vanish, leaving them there, they turned back to facing the again. Team 6, you will be getting a new mission in 3 days to give you a little break from doing so many missions, so you're dismissed, the Sandame said to Team 6, who turned around and walked out of the tower talking to each other. I'm going home guys, see you tomorrow, Jin says, running off down the street heading home, while Hayate and Maiko continued to talk for a bit before Maiko had to go as well. I guess I should head home as well, Hayate thought, running to his house because the sun was beginning to go down and his parents were expecting him home soon from the mission. Naruto. After Naruto finished working with his sword once again, he went to the center of the training ground to practice. He picked it up when watching a ninja practice it in the training ground right next to this one. Where should I appear at? Naruto asked himself, looking around the training ground, deciding to in front of a tree that was a good 30 feet away, starting to perform the hand seals. He took a deep breath. I hope this works, Naruto whispered to himself, vanishing from sight, appearing about an inch in front of the tree, making him smash his head into the tree, making him fall back unconscious from the hit. Around an hour later, Naruto woke up, slowly standing still in pain from the impact with tree. Damn, that hurt, Naruto thought, leaning on the tree for a moment to get the dizziness to go away. Naruto being Naruto, he walked back to the center of the clearing again to try it one more time, trying to visualize himself a couple of feet away from the tree this time. This time when he made the hand signs and vanished, he appeared a couple feet in front of the tree. He jumped for joy after. Once he completed, he started to practice the Academy 3, which were Henge, Kawari, and Bunshin, but not being able to do the Bunshin, but completing the other two perfectly just like before. Even after I learned tree walking and water walking with Kakashi sensei, I am still not able to make a good enough Bunshin to pass the graduation test, Naruto said to himself while sitting down and began to ponder if he could learn a different clone technique to pass the test with. I will ask Gigi tomorrow if I can learn a different clone technique for the test, Naruto thought, determined to get a clone down before the graduation test next week. Getting up, Naruto got back to work on his, because it will be his main skill in battle, besides that he started learning about. Naruto walked up to a new training dummy that he didn't slice up yet. Unsheathing his sword, he began a dance of majestic swordplay on the dummy. Once the dummy was cut up enough, and when he thought his didn't need no more practice that night, he began his trek back to the village, sheathing his sword back in its holster, leaving the training ground. Naruto ran to the main street of Konoha from the training ground while staring up at the stars in the sky as he went, but when he tilted his head forward to look back in front of him, he spotted a mysterious guy climbing out the window of the tower and started rushing down the street he was on, so Naruto dove into an alleyway to the right, looking out from the shadows to watch the guy go by. The guy runs right past the entrance of the alleyway, making Naruto's eyes widen at the type of forehead protector the ninja that ran past had on, and one of the scrolls from Jiji's office he saw one time. No way, that headband was from Iwa. What is an Iwa ninja doing in Konoha besides taking that scroll from the tower, Naruto thought, exiting the alleyway and started to follow the Iwa ninja down the street. The Iwa ninja turns off the main road, running into a forest further down a side road. Naruto notices that Iwa ninja just entered training ground 3. Naruto didn't know why he would go through there, but following anyway. I can't let him get away with that scroll, no one knows it was taken, so I have to get it back, Naruto thought, adding chakra to his legs to catch up to the Iwa ninja while he thought of a plan to make sure he got the scroll back. Once Naruto exited out the back of the forest of training ground 3, he saw the Iwa ninja start using chakra in the bottoms of his feet and legs, getting ready to jump over the wall of Konoha when he got closer. I have to wait for the best moment, and that is when he is already in the air, then I will myself with the scroll, Naruto thought, waiting for the right moment to come. When the Iwa ninja jumped up, getting closer to the top of the wall, Naruto appeared on the Iwa ninja's back, making the scroll disappear out of view. Noticing the weight change on his back after Naruto appeared on his back in replace of the scroll, Naruto had no choice but to jump off the ninja and run back into the forest while picking up the scroll off the ground and attaching it to his back like his sword. The Iwa ninja got pissed at being fooled by a little kid, so he jumped back down to the ground. "Get back here, you brat," the Iwa ninja shouted, running back into the forest after Naruto, in which they came. Naruto saw the ninja catching up to him, so Naruto started to pump chakra to his legs and started to pick up speed. Naruto got faster, but the Iwa ninja was still catching up to him, but much more slowly now though. When Naruto shot past a big tree close to the entrance of the forest, Naruto with a branch 20 feet away to get some distance between him and the Iwa ninja who just appeared where he was standing moments ago. "Brad, I am going to kill you nice and slow for making me be here longer in this dump than I had to," the Iwa ninja said, pulling out a kunai and rushing forward at Naruto, who stayed back knowing that the Iwa ninja didn't think much of him, so Naruto grabbed a kunai, wrapping it in an exploding tag. Naruto drew 6 more plain kunai to mask the exploding one. Naruto threw them at the charging Iwa ninja. "Take this, you pig-headed, ugly-ass bastard," Naruto shouted, throwing the kunai slower than he usually would to make the ninja believe that he sucked real badly. "Is this it? You suck even for an academy student. You should not become a ninja if you get the chance, because I'm going to kill you," the Iwa ninja said, stopping and takes a step to the side to let 3 of the kunai pass by. While he deflected 3 more, he lets the last kunai stick in the ground in front of him, believing it to be bad aim from the kid. "That was pathetic, Iwa Genin, and even Iwa Academy students could take you out in one hit," Iwa ninja taunted Naruto, while Naruto just looked on, thinking that the guy must be really stupid. "You don't realize that I am barely trying, or that I am better than I put myself out to be. I mean, come on, I am not retarded, but I think you are," Naruto says, pointing to the kunai in front of the Iwa ninja, making him look down to see an exploding tag on the kunai in front of him. His eyes widened, realizing the danger he is in. He takes a step back right when the tag went off right in front of him, killing him instantly. The Iwa ninja's body fell to the ground, missing part of his lower body. Also, the burn marks were over 50% of the ninja's body, spreading out onto the grassy area from around the body. Naruto turned away looking disgusted with how the body looked. The burn marks were all over, and the guts were spilling out from the body, but nonetheless, Naruto picked up the scroll, attaching it to his back, while grabbing the shirt of the dead ninja, starting to drag the body to the tower, knowing the body was too heavy to carry, but he had to tell Gigi about the incident that happened here. Naruto started to jog once hitting the main street of Konoha, because he did not want many to see him dragging a dead body around. He caught sight of ninja going out in different directions, once reaching the stairs to the building, and walking up them he reached the door with the dead body behind him. Before Naruto could knock on the door he spotted the secretary jump up and run out of the building after seeing him with a dead body behind him. Naruto just shrugs his shoulders, turning to face the door again. Naruto knocked on the door, being told to enter. He entered the office dragging the body in with him, while shutting the door behind him. Once the Sandaime spotted him and the body he jumped up and ran up to Naruto. "Are you okay?" Naruto Sandaime asked, looking over Naruto for any injuries on Naruto from the fight he presumed. "I'm okay, Gigi. The Iwa ninja didn't stand a chance. He didn't realize I am better than what I was showing, so he underestimated me. That's why he went boom. But I didn't think he would fall for it though. Not like that anyway," Naruto explained to the Sandaime, who looked at Naruto impressed by him, because defeated A. Although Naruto was underestimated, it still was pretty good for an academy student. "What should I do with this guy?" Naruto asks the Sandaime, innocently pulling the body out in front of him, making the Sandaime call out Tiger from the corner of the room to dispose of the body. Tiger appeared, hauling the body up, then vanishing. Once the body vanished with Tiger, the Sandaime led Naruto to a chair in front of his desk, letting Naruto sit down while he walked back around his desk and sat down himself to get comfortable. "Are you okay, Naruto? That type of killing looked pretty bad," the Sandaime said, clearly concerned for Naruto and his mental state. "Yeah, I'm fine, Gigi. I had no choice but to kill him. If I didn't kill him, he would have killed me and got away. Also, he would have caught me if I tried to run. He was too fast, so I thought I might as well save the scroll and take him out for the good of the village," Naruto said, emotionless, cause the end result of the body looked horrible once the explosion had ended. And he didn't want the Sandaime to worry about him. "Okay, Naruto, but if you ever need to talk, you know I'm here for you," Sandaime says to Naruto, making sure Naruto understood that he is not alone, making him smile. "I know, Gigi, you're the best," Naruto says, jumping over the desk, giving him a big hug for helping him so much. After the hug, Naruto got back in his chair and sat down, taking the scroll of his back, placing it in the desk for him to take back. "Is this the scroll that got taken from here?" Sandaime asked Naruto, who just nodded to the question. "Then hold up a second while I go put this back and get something for you that you will find useful," Sandaime says. The Sandaime got up, taking the scroll that Naruto brought back with him to the back storage scroll room, placing it in the room among the others, while picking up another scroll that read Kage Bunshin no, and walked out of the room with a smaller scroll in hand, while walking back to his desk, sitting back down. "For your efforts of receiving that scroll from that Iwa ninja, you are getting a B rank mission pay. Along with you get to learn the Kage Bunshin no from the scroll here, but you have to return it when you're done learning it, okay?" Naruto Sandaime says, reaching inside his desk, pulling out an envelope. "Really? I can't believe it. How did you know I couldn't do regular Bunshin?" Naruto asks, giddy with excitement to learn it. "I watch sometimes to make sure you're not hurt, and I found out that you had too much chakra to do a regular Bunshin when you were training the one time, though I couldn't just hand you this scroll over without a reason. I got one reason now," Sandaime replied, sliding a little envelope over his desk with the B rank mission money in it, as well as the Kage Bunshin scroll on top of the envelope. Naruto reaches out and picks both up, sliding them into his pocket, deciding then that he needed to stay up all night training to get Kage Bunshin completed soon so that he could concentrate on other things tomorrow. "Come talk to me sometimes, Naruto. You don't see me that much," Sandaime says. "Okay, Gigi, I promise I will come visit once in a while," Naruto says, standing up and walking to the door after being told that Gigi is going to bed, so he opened the office door to leave. "Just be careful with that jutsu, Naruto. Make sure you read the whole scroll in and out before you try to perform it," Sandaime says, shutting off the office light, following Naruto down the hall to a room in which the Sandaime stepped into, telling Naruto good night before shutting the door. "I got a new I can train. I'm going to go train," the Naruto thought, walking away from the closed door, heading down the stairs of the building out into the streets, still seeing random ninja pass by from time to time. Naruto started to pick up speed down the road to go to the training ground fast to learn the Kage Bunshin. He wanted to learn it so bad, but he didn't realize before it was too late and collided with someone in the street, both falling down from the collision. Naruto slowly got up and walked over to the downed person, realizing it to be Yugao. He put his hand out to her to help her up. "Sorry about that, Yugao. I really wasn't paying any attention to where I was going," Naruto says, while Yugao took his hand, getting up off the ground, appreciating the help up from the ground. "I remember this happening once before, but this time I guess the positions have switched this time around," though Yugao says, laughing lightly from what happened once again. I guess so, you were the one who helped me up the last time, but what are you doing out here this late into the night? Naruto asked Yugao. I am out here going for a walk, would you like to join me? Naruto Yugao asked unsure. Sure Yugao, would you like to take a walk through the park then, since it gives the best view of the sky? There Naruto asks Yugao looking at her beauty, realizing he was staring averted his eyes toward a building to the side away from Yugao, trying to extinguish the blush that appeared on his face before she saw it. I don't mind Naruto, it's a really nice night tonight, the full moon is out tonight, Yugao says looking up at the moon for a moment before grabbing Naruto's hand and started to lead him to the park. They were walking through the park just enjoying the night and just the nighttime in general because of the stars being out. After they walked around for a bit, they laid in the grass to get a better view of the stars. We are being placed onto teams in a week if we pass the graduation test though, are you ready for the test? Naruto Yugao asks. Yeah, I'm ready Yugao, I am going to pass for sure, and you will too, you are one of the best students at the academy, Naruto says making Yugao blush from his compliment. They both stayed quiet for a bit, deciding just to relax next to each other under the stars. I hope that we will end up being on the same team. Me, you, and Io would make a really good team together, Naruto says to Yugao who turned her head towards him to answer. We would be the best team out of them all, our skills and our friendship would make the team great, Yugao replied turning her head back again to face the shining sky. Naruto just nods to Yugao's answer staying silent thinking of a lot of things on that are on his mind, one of them being Yugao herself. Hey Naruto, can I ask you something? Naruto Yugao asks with a blush on her face. Sure Yugao, what's up? Naruto asked tilting his head to the right to look at her. Yugao takes a couple of seconds to ask unsure if she should ask Naruto or not. I kind of like this boy Hate, but I am not sure of how to go about it, I mean I really like him, and all, I want to tell him I like him since I have been talking to him these last 2 weeks, Yugao asks Naruto catching him off guard, Naruto who on the inside was in turmoil, because he just found out the girl he liked has a crush on Hate, one of the people he liked out of the entire village. He isn't a bad person, and he wants Yugao to be happy, so he gave her a reasonable answer, so he turned further towards her. You should tell him how you feel, he is a good person and won't hurt you, I knew him from 2 years ago, so go for it, tell him how you feel when you're ready to tell him, Naruto says hurting inside from what he just said because he really likes Yugao, not showing much of these emotions on the outside because he didn't want her to worry about him. Do you really think so Naruto, do you really think I should try? I really like him and don't want to be turned down by him, Yugao says defectively lowering her head a little. Don't worry about it Yugao-chan, you are very beautiful, he would have to be an idiot to turn you down, so don't worry about it so much, just think of the positives that could come about from it, Naruto says trying to hide his sadness, standing up having to get out of there before tears start to fall from his eyes. Thank you Naruto, happy Yugao says jumping up to her feet and hugging Naruto like crazy, but the hug didn't last too long before Naruto pulled away from her making Yugao just stand there confused. I got to go Yugao, I'll see you tomorrow, Naruto says running off unsure of why he felt this much pain. See you tomorrow, Yugao says waving at him before she left, but heading home to get some sleep, while Naruto ran out of the park to the front gates of Konoha and out into the forest a good distance away before leaning up against a tree sliding down into a sitting position beginning to cry. Once his crying slowed down, he heard a rustling coming from a couple trees and bushes further in. He started to hear laughing before he passed out. Naruto appeared in a sewer-like area wondering what was going on before a giant cage with a seal on it appeared before him, with a creature with glowing red eyes, came to the bars of the cage. You worthless flesh bag, why are you crying? You are making yourself look weak, and you are making me look weak, a fox-like creature growled out from inside the cage. Who are you, and what are you, and how did you get in there? Naruto says to it standing up slowly feeling very intimidated by the very large creature in front of him. I am the great Kyuubi no Yoko, and you will respect me boy, Kyuubi says unleashing some of its red chakra to try and scare Naruto. Naruto though stood deviant through the ordeal of the killing intent that is being sent his way. Where is this though, and why are you trapped? I thought you were killed by the Yondaime, Naruto says to the Kyuubi walking closer to the cage to get a better look at the Kyuubi. A human can't defeat me, I am a huge mass of chakra without complete form, the reason that you are here with me right now is because this is your mind, the Yondaime sealed me inside, that is why you have massive amounts of chakra, the Kyuubi explained. Naruto's eyes widened from this little bit of information, before taking a step back from the cage. You're lying, Naruto shouts out childishly not wishing to think that the Kyuubi is inside of him. It's true you little whelp, this damn seal keeps me from getting out, and if you need proof push chakra out of your body, and look at your stomach once you leave here a seal shall appear, the Kyuubi says smashing into the bars to prove his point and at the same time trying to get out. So that's why civilians and some ninja keep trying to kill me, they think I am you, and that you're still alive, Naruto says, knowing that he himself is the only one keeping the Kyuubi at bay from ripping Konoha apart, but the civilians think otherwise. I'm going to make a deal with you a couple weeks from now, but first I am going to adjust your chakra coils so that it can handle my part of the deal. I am going to propose a plan to you human. Now get out of here so I can get to work and also to get some sleep. Just don't die. If you die, I die, so I won't let you. If you want to prove to Konoha how strong you are, then get stronger. Maybe then even I may acknowledge you, the Kyuubi says before forcing Naruto out. Naruto woke up wondering about the deal the Kyuubi was talking about, realizing he is in the same place before he passed out, so he stood up and pulled up his shirt, pushing chakra out of his body, while a very complex seal appeared on his stomach. Mesmerized by the seal, he then stopped pushing chakra into the seal while pulling his shirt back on all the way. Look what we have here, a little boy wandering the forest by himself. We should show him why he shouldn't be doing this, some guy said from a tree line 50 feet away. Naruto looked up, seeing about 10 guys coming out of the tree line with little daggers, probably wanting to kill him. You guys should leave before you regret your decision of coming any closer, Naruto says, unsheathing his sword from out of the holster off his back, getting into a half-relaxed stance. This little brat thinks he can take all of us on and win. Come on boys, let's show this kid who he is dealing with, one of the bandits said. Well, most of them started to chuckle once they were done. They charged forward with the intent to kill him in cold blood. When the first three came upon him, Naruto jumped up swinging his sword, beheading the first, then he turned in midair and kicked the second in the shin, sending him back a bit. Once Naruto landed, he ducked under a stab from the third coming up and plunging his sword through the third's chest, ripping it out, while the second charged him from behind, again making Naruto jump up. Then spin kicked him in the side of the head, knocking that bandit out cold. After that bandit fell, he spun around quickly, slashing a deep gash across another, making that bandit drop down dead. Naruto starts taking them down one by one, showing no mercy because he knows he wouldn't get none. When the last one came up, Naruto took his legs out, jumping on top of the bandit, plunging his sword straight down into the heart of the last of the bandits that attacked him before jumping off, walking away from the dead bodies while taking a cloth out, wiping the blood off. After he was done cleaning the blade, he sheathed it while beginning to run back to Konoha. Once he passed the gates of Konoha heading in, he headed to training ground 7 to train for a while to get his mind off of many things right now. He entered the grounds laying his sword on the ground, pulling out the Kage Bunshin scroll and began to read it. The Kage Bunshin is a solid clone able to obtain memories for the original. You can also use these clones to gain knowledge for you, but making too many of them could kill you or cause mental brain damage that can't be reversed, so be careful when using it. Naruto read the scroll to himself, rolling it back up when he had the hand seals memorized and began training to learn this. 4 hours later, Naruto could be seen standing in the middle of about 100 copies of himself before being dispelled, leaving him being the only one left in the field. Yes, I finally learned it. This will come in very handy with certain missions and my training. Naruto thought, ecstatic at the possibilities of the Kage Bunshin. Naruto picked up his sword off the ground and making the hand seals again for the Kage Bunshin. 20 copies appear in front of him. They started to get in the same stance he was in now. Naruto started slashing through them one after another, getting cut up a little bit himself as well. When the last Kage Bunshin dissipated due to being cut in half across its torso, Naruto dropped to the ground exhausted from the training that night. Naruto turned to the sky, noticing the stars were starting to vanish from the sky. The sun's starting to come up. I guess I lost track of time, Naruto softly said to himself, watching the color of the sky change, brightening the sky slightly. I will pass the test next week. I have no choice but to pass, Naruto thought, determined to pass the test. Slowly closing his eyes, not realizing it was happening, falling unconscious in the field peacefully until Kakashi found him later that day, having to carry Naruto home, grumbling the whole way to Naruto's apartment. I'm skip 1 week. I hope Yugao isn't mad at me. I haven't seen her in about a week. I was trying to avoid her to get my emotions in check before I saw her again, Naruto thought, contemplating this while walking down the street to the academy for the test that is being held at the academy. I'm going to pass today, Naruto shouted out, beginning to run so he could get to the academy sooner and to be the first one to arrive. When Naruto arrived at the academy, he rushed right through the academy doors. He ran down the hallway, stopping at a room numbered 27, which has been his classroom for the last 2 years. Now he was 6 years old and finally becoming a ninja of the leaf. Naruto slowly opened the door to the classroom, wondering on a couple of things. Seeing no one in the room, he walked up the aisle to the back row of seats and sat down to wait for his senseis and classmates to arrive. So Naruto pulled out his intermediate seals book and began to read while time began to tick by. About an hour later, the doors to the classroom opened up and in walked Asuhi and Matsu-sensei, closing the door behind them as they walked to the desk and placed their folders down on the desk. Naruto closed his book and set it down on the desk for a bit. Hey senseis, what took you guys so long? Naruto shouted out jokingly, trying to get a rise out of them. Matsu and Asuhi turned toward the voice and caught Naruto sitting in the back row in high heat already. What do you mean Naruto? We are right on time, you're just really early, Matsu said, smiling at the 6-year-old who joined their class 2 years ago. I thought I would get here early because it is one of the last days I will see this class, Naruto replied sadly, but still happy of becoming a ninja of the leaf in about an hour when they begin the test. We will miss you Naruto, you have been one hell of a student, just make sure you pass the graduation test, Asuhi-sensei says to a smirking Naruto. I will sensei, the test will be no problem, I'll blow through it, and before you know it, I will already be a Naruto says, pumping his fist into the air with determination evident in the way Naruto said it. Well then Naruto, good luck, me and Asuhi are going to be the ones to give you guys that test, so show us what you got, Matsu says, walking to the back room to prepare for the test. Asuhi just sits down at the desk starting to complete some paperwork he had received that morning. Asuhi-sensei, I am going to be using a different kind of a bunshin during the test to pass, or do I have to use a regular bunshin, Naruto asked Asuhi-sensei unsure. Asuhi looked up with a confused look, wondering what Naruto meant. It's fine Naruto, but hate other clone techniques do you know, besides the regular bunshin, Asuhi asks Naruto. I know the cage bunshin, and I know it because when a ninja tried to steal from the tower, I caught him off guard and saved the scroll, then let me learn that clone technique, Naruto says to a wide-eyed Asuhi, because Naruto knew an air and Kenjutsu. That's amazing Naruto, the test should be easy for you then, Asuhi states, getting back to work on his paperwork, while Naruto picked up his book off the desk and began to read the book till the rest of the class got there. After about 30 minutes of waiting, students started to come into the room. Naruto, although reading his book, was paying attention to all who came into the room until Neo stepped into the room. Naruto waved to Neo to come sit in the back with him. Neo walked up the aisle to the back. When he got there he sat down and Naruto patted him on the back. Good to see you, you ready to pass the graduation test today? Naruto asks, curiously listening to what his friend has to say about the test. Neo nods, then he put his arm up onto the desk before speaking. The test is going to be simple Naruto, me, you and Yugao, and maybe some other students in the class, have had most of the requirements to pass this test for a while, now Neo states with much conviction, already pulling out a pencil for the written part of the exam, which was sure to come first. Yeah, you're right, I had most of the techniques Don needed to pass the test the first year in this class, Naruto says, thinking about his 2 years he was in this class. Neo turned to him, wondering if Naruto finished the clone that he had trouble with and asked him to help with. They didn't progress much with his help either, so Naruto had let it go for the time being. So you completed the clone after all. I thought for sure it would have been impossible, but I guess anything could happen when it comes to you, Neo says, putting his head on the desk tiredly from not getting enough sleep from the night before. I never completed that technique, I got a different clone technique to work, so I don't need that one anymore, Naruto says, happily pulling out a pencil himself and placing it on the desk in front of him. Neo just nods and decided to fall asleep for a bit so he wouldn't be tired for the test completely, and Naruto picked up his book and continued to read until after about 10 minutes when Neo lifted his head up and turned to look at Naruto. Hey Naruto, why were you avoiding Yugao? She seemed kind of pissed that she couldn't find out or sense you anywhere, Neo asked Naruto, who put his book back away before replying. I wasn't avoiding her, I was training this whole week, I guess I lost track of time, Naruto says while Neo looked at Naruto, not really believing what Naruto was saying. Nice lie, but really why were you avoiding Yugao? She seemed really mad on the outside, but looked upset on the inside from you staying away from her, Neo says, concerned. Naruto began trying to think of an excuse to get out of this conversation, but after a couple of seconds just decided to tell his friend the truth. Well, I hung out with her about a week ago, and she told me she liked a boy. Yugao said his name was Hade, so I got a little upset after that, and I just tried to stay away from Yugao to try and get my emotions in check, Naruto says, not realizing that Yugao was standing right behind him, who looked mad at first, but then gained a sad look on her face. Oh really, why would you get upset if Yugao likes another guy? Neo asked, surprised by Naruto's answer to his question, not really expecting the truth out of Naruto instead of another lie. I don't really know, but it's fine, I would rather she be with him anyway. I got a lot of things I wouldn't want anyone to know about, and also just seeing her happy that day when I told Yugao to go for it and tell him how she felt making me happy that I told her that, Naruto says, still not realizing Yugao was right behind him. Neo looked at Naruto with a tiny smile, knowing that Naruto was in love with Yugao, but was still too young to know what love was. Neo looked up, knowing Yugao was there the whole time. Yugao mouthed 3 minutes, which meant she would announce herself then, in which Neo nodded back in response, making sure Naruto didn't see him nod to Yugao. After 3 minutes, Yugao walked forward and pulled out the chair that was on the left side of Naruto, making his eyes widen, not realizing Yugao walked up to them. Hey Yugao, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while, Naruto asks Yugao, who just sat down while she turned toward Naruto to answer him. I'm good Naruto, but why are you staying away from me? I usually could find you, but this last week I couldn't, Yugao says, knowing she wasn't going to get the same answer that Neo did, which made her kind of sad. I'm sorry Yugao, I was just really busy training and I lost track of time, but I promise to make it up to you, though Naruto says, trying to get Yugao to smile. He looks sad at the moment and he wanted to change that. Really Naruto, you sure that is the reason? There isn't anything else to it? Yuga asked, looking at him in the eyes. Yes, that as the main reason why. I'm sorry, Naruto replied, scratching the back of his head. I guess I was right, I'm not going to be able to get the same answer out of him that Neo got out of him, Yugao thought, looking toward the front of the room for a moment before turning back to Naruto. Okay then, but you better make it up to me for making me worry, Yugao says, pouting. I promise, Naruto says to Yugao. Ho gained a smile back, leaving the sad look to disappear. Naruto, Neo, and Yugao continued to talk to each other until Neo fell asleep, leaving Yugao and Naruto to talk to Asuhi-sensei. Stood up from his desk and walked to the front of the class while looking at them with a stack of papers in his hands. Alright class, it is time for the written test. This test I'll be 25% of your overall grade. Once this test is through, we will all go outside for the Kenjutsu and accuracy test, which I'll be another 25% of your grade. Then he'll test you in the back room to see if you have the Academy 3 completed, which I'll be about 50% of your grade. So when I hand all these papers out, only begin when I say begin, Asuhi-sensei explained to them, starting to hand each test out one by one and row by row. Naruto and the rest of the class began to examine the test paper they got when they were all handed out. Begin, Asuhi-sensei shouted, sitting back in his seat behind his desk until the hour as up for the written portion of this test, so he got back to work on his paperwork, hoping to finish within the hour before the kids finished. Naruto and Yugao flew through the test within 10 minutes, but Neo only started after 30 minutes of the testing period had passed because he just woke up. He looked around the room, noticing about half were already done, so he turned to Naruto. Ho had his head down on the desk, relaxing, while Yugao was doodling on the back of her paper. Why didn't you wake me up, you idiot? I wanted to be one of the first people done, Neo whispered angrily to Naruto while beginning to write furiously on his test paper. You said you were tired, so I let you sleep some more. I knew the test would be easy for you, so I left you to sleep and was going to wake you soon, Naruto says, lifting his head slowly off the desk. After a couple minutes, Neo finished his test, flipping the paper over once done. Well, you could have still woke me up, it would have made it easier for me, Neo says, laying his head down for a couple of minutes till the test was over. Naruto just nodded, seeing Neo go back to sleep, laying his head down as well to relax till time was up, and Yugao was still doodling stick figures on her paper. The testing time of an hour just finished, so Asuhi-sensei got up and started to collect all the papers from the students. Once he was done with it, he returned to the front of the class, handing the papers to a random ninja who left the class to grade them in silence and to see what the scores were. Come on class, it's time to head outside now for the accuracy and Kenjutsu test, Matsu says, coming out of the back room with another net to him, while Asuhi walked into the back room to wait for Matsu to finish. The students all got up and started to head out back to the training ground. Once they were outside, they were led to a circle engraved in the ground like a ring by Matsu-sensei. I'll call you each up one by one to face off against Dane here. All you got to do to pass this test is to stay in the ring for a minute with him to get a perfect score, Matsu says, while Dane walked into the far end of the ring and got into a Kenjutsu stance. Matsu started to call names out one by one, marking down all the kids who passed or failed this part. He wrote each one down on his clipboard. When he called Neo up, Neo got into the ring and lasted the minute, but barely, because he got pushed out of the ring a second after the minute mark had passed by. Neo passed mature, says, calling the net few students up. About 1/3 of the students so far passed this part of the test, while the others have failed. Uzumaki, Naruto, you're up. Net Matsu says, seeing Naruto walk into the ring and got into his stance, which had his left leg out in front of him and his right leg out behind him. Naruto was crouched down like that with his left arm in front of him and his right arm facing behind him, which was the lightning fang style that he came up with when Kakashi was teaching him some things. I am going to kick your ass, Naruto shouts to the opposing across from him with a smirk on his face. We will see about that, Naruto, Dane says, trying to taunt Naruto into charging forward at him, but it did not work as he planned it to. You may begin, Matsu shouted to the two of them, hearing cheers behind him from Yugao, who was screaming kick his ass and show him who's boss, which got Matsu chuckling. After a couple of seconds, Dane realized Naruto would not make the first move, so he charged forward so that he could end it quick so that Naruto could not have the time to react, but he still hid quite a bit back when he came upon Naruto. Dane shot out his right fist to slam it into Naruto's face, but Naruto just ducked under the punch and then he blocked the knee coming for his face. Twisting his body around, he brought up his right leg to kick Dane in the chin, but Dane grabbed Naruto's right ankle, holding it in place, but Naruto was not done. Naruto curved his body, bringing up his left leg, spinning in midair to kick Dane in the side of the head. It connected and sent Dane sprawling onto his back. Dane got up almost right away though after the hit. Damn, this kid is pretty good. I think he already passed this test, but I will continue anyway, Dane thought, charging Naruto again to take him out. Yugao and Neo cheered when Naruto got the hit on him, knowing that was a good move by Naruto, but some of the students in the class still hated Naruto and thought he wasn't going to pass because of his age. Dane shot forward with a left kick coming for Naruto's right side. Naruto leaned forward into Dane's body, though from the hit getting punched in the face, making Naruto skid to the edge of the ring. I can't lose, Naruto thought, knowing he only had to stay in the ring 10 more seconds to pass, so Naruto shot forward, changing his tactics up a bit to mess with Dane's mind. When Naruto got close, he thrusted his right fist forward to hit Dane, but he leaned back, which Naruto wanted him to do, so Naruto ducked under the punch sent his way and leaned forward closer to Dane, who was wondering what Naruto intended to do. "I win, sensei," Naruto says, thrusting both arms forward and grabbed the top of Dane's pants and pulled them down, making everyone stop talking with everyone's eyes widening from what just happened. Dane took 2 steps back, his eyes widened before he met with a punch to the gut, then a kick to the face which sent Dane skidding across the ground out of the ring. Everyone just stares at Naruto, who just walked out of the ring and walked over to Yugao to stand by her, waiting for the net match to commence. Winner Uzumaki Naruto, Matsu-sensei says with a sweat drop at how Naruto had won the match. Dane got up, pulling his pants back on while walking back into the ring, while all the way he kept giving Naruto a glare for what he did. "Really, Naruto?" Yugao asks, looking at Naruto like he was crazy. "Hey, win is a win, Yugao. We are ninja. Anything we can use against someone should be used to your advantage," Naruto replied, while turning to Neo, who gave him a high five for what he did to the. "At least he won. I hope I get placed on the same team as him and Neo," Yugao thought, looking at Naruto and Neo happily. "Izuki, Yugao, it's your turn," Matsu says, seeing Yugao walk slowly to the ring while getting into her Taijutsu stance, the Izumi stance, which it was a part of her clan. Dane and Yugao both charged forth, clashing back and forth for most of the minute, making Yugao pass the Taijutsu test. "You pass, Yugao. Now we are moving on to the accuracy portion of the test. Please follow me to the target," Matsu announced, walking to the target while the students followed him. Once there, he turned to them and handed each student 5 kunai and 5 shuriken to hit the targets with. Matsu called mostly everyone up. He then started to look down the list on his clipboard at who were the highest scorers in these tests so far. He saw that Yugao, Neo, Naruto, and Kenshi were top so far. "Next, Uzumaki Naruto," Matsu says, watching Naruto get in line with the target. "This is so easy," Naruto thought. "Haha, Naruto probably is going to miss. He probably has bad aim, that's why he didn't throw any yet," a random student said, laughing at Naruto. "Let's see you laugh after this," Naruto thought, pissed, taking 1 kunai and aimed it for the target, letting the kunai go earlier than it was supposed to, making it fly right by the student's head, making the student stop laughing, realizing the danger he is in. "Oops, I missed," Naruto says with a smirk, picking up another kunai and about to throw it at the kid again. "Let it go, Naruto, or you will fail this part of the test," Matsu said, although he was smiling at what Naruto did. Naruto grumbled, but turned back to the target nonetheless and began to throw his kunai and shuriken, gaining him both perfect on the accuracy test. Naruto walked back to Neo and Yugao with a smile on his face as they congratulated him. When Yugao's turn came up, she got a perfect score on both kunai and shuriken, making Neo, Naruto, and herself the only ones to get a perfect on this part of the test beside Kenshi. "Good job, Yugao, I knew you could do it," Naruto said happily with a blush on his face, though Yugao could tell that he was holding back some pain from before when she asked him about hate. "Thanks, Naruto, that means a lot," Yugao says, smiling slightly with thoughts going through her mind like crazy about Naruto. All the students turned to Matsu, waiting for him to explain on what to do next. "Now everyone, since the accuracy test is over, everyone head back inside to the classroom to prepare for the next segment of the test, which, I'll call you into the back room one by one once we are ready to begin," Matsu says, leaving in a swirl of leaves to let them walk back to class on their own. "Finally, the portion. It's one of my favorite parts of being a ninja besides, but they don't have a test for that," Naruto says to Neo and Yugao, who nods to his statement while all 3 walked into the classroom and sat in their seats in the back row of the room. Kenshi walked up the aisle to them with a smirk on his face. He leans over the desk. Yugao was at once reaching their back row. "Hey cutie, you need to give me a kiss for good luck. I think a kiss from you would help me out quite a bit," Kenshi says to Yugao, cupping her chin, starting to bring Yugao's head closer to him, while Naruto's and Neo's eyes widen from this. "No thanks," Yugao says, pulling back away from Kenshi, who brought his other hand forward trying to grope Yugao. "I'm going to kill him," Yugao thought, about to bring her arm up to slam Kenshi in the face for what he is trying to do. While this encounter is going on, people were already being called into the back room, but they didn't notice. Naruto's hand shot forward and gripped Kensei's wrist, making Yugao's and Kini's eyes widen before Kensei was thrown across the room into the far wall, making Kensei smash his head off the brick part of the wall, passing out from the hit to the head. "I'm going to kill him," Naruto thought, murderously getting up all the way and started to trek forward to the fallen Kensei, but before he got far, Yugao got up and put a hand on Naruto's arm, making him stop and turn his head slightly to look at Yugao. "Please stop, Naruto, just let it go, it's over, but thank you for sticking up for me," Yugao says, smiling. "Okay, I'll stop, but if he does it again I won't stop till he ends up in the hospital," Naruto says to Yugao. "That's fine, Naruto, but you wouldn't get the chance, he would be there for me sending him there before you got the chance to send him there yourself," Yugao replied, taking her hand off Naruto's arm. The graduation test room door opened and Neo strolled out with a smile on his face up to Naruto and Yugao. "I passed, guys, I was right, also this test is easy, so if you don't pass I'll kick your asses really hard," Neo says jokingly. "Naruto Uzumaki, it's your turn now," Matsu said, leading Naruto into the back room while Yugao sat back down and started to fidget in her seat, hoping that Naruto passes this test. "Don't worry, Yugao, Naruto will be fine, he will pass the test for sure," Neo says, sitting down next to her to comfort her. "Naruto." When Naruto enters the room, he was told to stand in front of the long desk in the room until they told him to begin the test. "Okay, Naruto, with something in the room," Matsu says to Naruto. He made the hand seals vanishing from his spot and appearing in Asuha's seat, where Asuhi landed in Naruto's spot, but not upright, but landing on his head, hitting the floor pretty hard. Asuhi stood up and grabbed Naruto from his seat and placed him back onto the floor while sitting back down himself. "Well, then Naruto, do a henge for us," Matsu says, laughing at what happened to Asuhi. Naruto smiled with an evil grin before performing the hand seals for henge. The whole area was then engulfed in white smoke, completely blocking everyone's view in the room. When the smoke cleared, the whole room was mostly filled by a giant orange-furred fox. Everyone's eyes widened in the room, realizing that this was the no Yoko. They all shot up out of their seats and grabbed a kunai out, leaning up against the back wall, scarred for their lives, but willing to give their lives up to protect Konoha. "I'm going to roast you guys to a crisp," the giant hen says, sounding just like the demon fox, while the fox brought its mouth right into the face of Dane, of who which was in the room with Asuhi and Matsu, and one of the Kyuubi's paws was up against Asuhi. As the other paw pushed against another random, making them scared beyond belief with sweat rolling off their foreheads, before the room was once again covered in smoke, before they heard laughing coming from Naruto, of which was standing in the center of the room. "You should have seen your faces, so did I pass the henge part?" Naruto asks, laughing, while stepping out of the smoke the big henge caused. Asuhi jumped forward and smacked Naruto upside the head for doing what he did. "Ow, what was that for?" Naruto shouted. "That was for scaring us half to death," thinking that was attacking, Asuhi said, walking back to his desk and sat down. The other did the same, although giving a glare to Naruto now. "Last part of the test, Naruto, make 3 viable clone and no more surprises," Naruto, Matsu says, shaking his head. Naruto just nod, but perform the hand seals for Kage Bunshin. No, a 10-OLED clone appeared net to him, hawking everyone again, but not Ahi. Matsu got up and walked around the desk and put his hand on a shoulder of one of the clones, but he also noticed Asuhi wasn't as surprised as he was. "Why you are not shocked, Asuhi?" Matsu asks, watching Naruto dispel the clones. "He asked me if he could do those type of clones instead of regular clones, so I let him," Asuhi replied, while Matsu walked back to his seat and sat down again, reaching into his desk, pulling out a black headband. "Congratulations, Uzumaki Naruto, you are now a genin of the Hidden Leaf Village, serve us proudly," Matsu announced to Naruto, who shot forward and grabbed the headband out of his hand while tying it to his forehead. "Can you call Yugao back for us, Naruto? It's her turn now," Asuhi asks. Naruto nods to him and runs out of the testing room back to the classroom to announce that he passed. Naruto entered the classroom, most eyes in the room, who were still there, turned toward him. "I passed," Naruto shouted, running in and ran right up to Neo, giving him a hug, who returned it. Then Naruto turned to Yugao and gave her a big hug as well, which she returned, holding the hug longer than they thought they would. When Naruto realized he was still hugging her, Yugao also realized this, blushing crimson. Naruto pulled back with a blush on his face as well for what he did. Sorry Yugao, I got really excited," Naruto says, scratching the back of his head. "It's okay Naruto, I didn't mind that you hugged me," Yugao says, looking away slightly with a light blush still adorning her cheeks. "Okay then, but it's your turn." "No Yugao, they told me to tell you to head on," and Naruto said to Yugao while she runs out of the room into the testing room to become a ninja. "You probably stole it, you wanted, you couldn't have passed," says, walking up to Naruto with a sneer on his face. Neo just stood there to see what happens so that he could help Naruto if he needed it. You wanted, then what does that make you? I mean I threw you into that brick wall over there, and you didn't get back up, so that means you're weaker than me, so I wouldn't go about putting nonsense about Naruto, says taunting Kenshi, who jumped forward at Naruto, throwing a right fist out to hit the blonde in the mouth. Naruto caught the punch aimed for him, sending a punch of his own into Kenshi's gut, doubling him over before punching Kenshi in the mouth, picking him up, and threw him into a seat to wait for their senseis to finish up the testing. No, just sit there and be a good boy to Suhi and Matsu sensei to come in after they finish testing, Naruto says, sitting down in his seat. Neo sat down beside him, both with a grin on their face. About 2 minutes later, Yugao walked back into the room with a high 8 on her forehead. She sat on that to Naruto and Neo. They both congratulated her on the feat of passing the graduation test. So all of us passed, this is great, he may have a chance of us being on the same team together, Naruto says to them, in which they both agreed. They continued to talk until Matsu and Asuhi walked in the door and stood in front of the class. No everyone, this is here your journey begins, as a ninja, your career starts. No, go make a name for yourself and become the best ninja you can be. Meet back here tomorrow at 8 o'clock to meet your teammates, and Sensei Asuhi and Matsu says to the class together, both vanishing in a swirl of leave together after the speech, as given. Kenshi as the first to leave because he needed to go get checked at the hospital for injuries. Naruto got up along with Yugao and Neo, continuing to talk as they walked down the hallway and exiting out the building onto the street. I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow, John and Neo says, running off. I got to go to Naruto, but I'll see you tomorrow, Yugao says, giving Naruto a hug, who hugged back. Yugao pulled back out of the hug with a blush on her face, rushing off down the street as Neo did before. Naruto continued to walk down the street until he heard his name being called. He turned and saw Hate jogging up to him. Hey Naruto, how have you been? Hate asks Naruto. I have been good, Hate, I just became a genin a little bit ago, Naruto says, making Hate's eyes widen seeing Naruto's headband on his forehead. So you're only 6 and already a genin, damn, you got me beat. You probably tied with Kakashi and Itachi graduation record at the academy, Hate says to Naruto. Really? Naruto asks, more excited than ever. Well, Hate chuckles and nods at Naruto's antics. I say, go celebrate you becoming a genin, then how about some ramen? I haven't had it in a while, Hate says. Naruto grabs onto his hand and begin to drag Hate on the street to the ramen stand. Once there, they flipped open the flap and sat down next to each other so they could eat and talk at the same time. Hey Naruto, how have you been? I haven't seen you in a while. You did not come here for a week, Am says with a stern look. I'm sorry Am Ni-chan, I have been really busy, but I would like 3 bowls of ramen please, Naruto asks. Am Ho nodded and got to work on his and Hate's order, which he ordered only 1 bowl of chicken ramen for himself. So Naruto, Ho is all in your class? Hate asks as he takes a bit of his ramen. Well, the ones I really talk to in class are Neo and Yugao, they're the only ones I can really stand, Naruto replies, making Hate cough on his food a little from the mention of Yugao's name. Did Yugao-chan and Neo pass? As Hate asks Naruto, how did not miss the chan suffix from Hate. Yeah, they both passed, but why do you call her Yugao-chan? Do you like her? Naruto asks, teasing Hate. Ho gained a blush from the comment. I guess you can say that, but I have only known Yugao for 2 weeks so far, I can't just come out and say it to her. Hate to Naruto, unsure of what to do. So he likes Yugao back. I guess I can help them get together, even though I like Yugao a lot, but I know she likes Hate, so won't get in the way. I just want Yugao to be happy, Naruto thought, taking a couple bits of his ramen. You should tell her, Hate, how you feel about her because she likes you too. She told me that she likes you a while back because we are really good friends, Naruto says, patting Hate on the back, hiding his pain he was feeling. Okay, I will tell her then when I see Yugao again. Thanks, Naruto, Hate says, waving to Naruto, leaving the ramen stand and heading home because it was getting late. Naruto stayed and finished up his ramen while having a long conversation with Am, who was happy that Naruto came for ramen today. Naruto got off his stool, dropping money on the counter and turned to leave. See you, Naruto-kun, you better come by sooner this time, Am shouts to Naruto as he exited the ramen stand while waving back at Am to show that he had heard. I will Ni-chan, Naruto shouted back, making Am smile while continuing to walk down the main road. Naruto looked up towards the sky, seeing the stars out. I wish you liked me, Yugao-chan, maybe I still have a chance, but I don't know, Naruto thought, looking up at the stars. Thanks for watching my video, and make sure to check out the author of this fanfic, link is in the description. See you next time, till then, sayonara.